Hi, I'm Kadi Kamara. I'm an event organizer. And you ask yourself, what about the networking? What about after the networking? But we have successful projects that come out of conferences like these. The project in Senegal, the project AZER, and one of our members, Gauff, has established is one of these projects. They met at our conferences, they exchanged, they made progress, and now this project is being replicated by other African countries. So it's an African-grown project that is now being translated into other countries for their own specific needs. This is exactly what we want to achieve in energy access for African countries and with bringing people together. Over to you, Michel.
Thank you. Honorable guests, dear partners, I'm Jean-Michel Sen, the Executive Director of AZER, the Senegalese Agency for Rural Electrification. It's truly an honor to stand before you today to talk about a crucial topic, the energy transition. AZER is the Senegalese Agency for Rural Electrification. We are the delegated contracting authority of the Ministry of the Energy Ministry, led by Mr. Biram Souleye Diop. We implement ambitious projects in order to get access, universal access in Senegal. Our mission is to accelerate rural electrification by providing technical and financial support to the stakeholders in the electricity sector and the local communities, ensuring that no village left behind. These initiatives are fully in line with the Vision 2050 of the President of the Republic of Senegal, His Excellency Bassirou Diomaye Diakhar Faye. He has set highly ambitious to improve the rural electrification rate from 65% to universal access of electricity by 2029. To achieve this objective or these goals, we use two methods: electrification by or through grid extension, or electrification through off-grid systems. To date, or now in Senegal, the solar mini-grid is the most used off-grid systems. For example, with Gauff Engineering, we cooperate, or we are operating a project. We are currently operating a project to provide with electricity 374 villages. So this model, as she said it, is replicated in other countries in Africa, like Ivory Coast, the Democratic Republic of Congo. So in addition to the solar mini-grid system, we are trying to use other technologies like the mini-scales hydroelectric power plants, or the biogas power plant. This will allow us to make or to build a circular economic within the relevant areas. I'm here today with Mustafa Sissenjai, who is the finance director for rural electrification. So I thank you for your attention. He will explain our project now and what we need to achieve our goal. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Executive Director, Mr. Jean-Michel Sen. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will share some information about Senegal and about AZER with you. The first thing is Senegalese government has decided to conditionally reduce its green gas emission by at least 23% by 2030. The share of the renewable energy in the national mix is presently at around 32%, and it will be increased to 40% at least by 2035. Senegal is also the second country after South Africa to have signed an agreement with the Just Energy Transition Partnership, the JETP, for $2.5 billion. So these decisions reflect on the key technology deployed in rural electrification, mainly based on grid extension, like Executive Director has said, to connect communities close to the national network, or solar mini-grids or solar home systems for areas that are remote from the grids. So we aim in our oncoming project to integrate hydropower, biogas, and biomass mini plants to connect households. Today, the rural electrification rate is at 65%. So we have around 7,000 villages where more than 100,000 vulnerable households are still living in darkness, and we are committed to provide them with sustainable electricity at an affordable cost by year 2029. So our strategy takes into account the barriers to entry, and therefore we provide free indoors installation, free connection, and also promote the productive use of electricity to improve the living condition of the population. So Senegal holds a huge potential in renewable energy and also has an attractive business climate. However, we must acknowledge that the necessary upfront capital investment of 800 million euros needed by ASER to electrify the remaining locality is a real burden to our economy. So as the energy transition must be inclusive, just, and rooted into shared responsibility, we are confident to find in this room here in Germany partners, investors, and institutions who will support us with innovative financial mechanisms such as green finance, concessional financing, or loans to achieve universal access to electricity and develop a strong local industry. This means investing in skills, investing in infrastructures and innovation to ensure that solutions are not just imported, but also designed, built, and maintained by Senegalese expertise. We would like to thank Gauff Engineering, like General Executive, I've already said, with whom we're finishing a project which has been replicated around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to transmit the message from those who are not in area where we have electricity. So the message from those who need to get electricity is we have to triple the investment and double the speed of the project execution. Thank you for your attention, hoping to provide you with relevant answers.
Thank you so much. Well, it sounds like we have a very enthusiastic audience here today. We now have time to take some questions from the audience. Tommy will be available to come around with the microphone. If you have a question, please raise your hand. I want to go ahead and kick us off with a question. Last night you had an event for the Africa Verein. Tell me, what was your biggest takeaway from last night's event?
The biggest takeaways are 150 million in the rural electrification project in DRC that we signed yesterday.
Congratulations, that is absolutely fantastic. That does deserve a round of applause. That's amazing. Congratulations. Do we have any questions from the audience? If you do, go ahead and raise your hand. Because of the way our speakers work, I might have to repeat the question for you. Yes, I see you here in the front row. Please stand up. The microphone's right there. Go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, hello, my name is Kai Mietig. I'm from Germany, an architect, and I was also some time in Africa. My question is there as well an establishment of a continental grid, so to exchange electricity from country to country, like we have a European grid where the supply of, or the oversupply of sustainable energy is going to other countries, or is it on the way, or is it in the plan?
Did you hear the question? Yeah, go ahead, please.
There is no universal African grid, but there are a West African power pool, an East African, Southern African power pool who share in the region, yes.
Thank you so much. Do we have another question from the audience? Fantastic. I have one more question then for you. You mentioned 370 villages. This is a part of Mission 300. And you mentioned that you also have, you want to have universal electricity access by 2029. Right now it's at 65%. You had a big ask, about 800 million in capital investment. If there's something else that you could put on your wish list for the people here today, the people watching online, what do you want? What does Acer need to get you to universal access by 2029?
Well, the first thing is the financing. The other thing is technology transfer. So I think if we have those two, the rest we can do. And we didn't have the opportunity to share our roadmap, which is showing that we already planning to double the speed of execution of the projects.
That sounds fantastic. All right, I think everyone knows what you need. I want to thank you so much for your time. I want to make way now on the stage for our next pitch. Thank you so much for joining me today. Another round of applause for our pitchers here.